He who is ignorant, let him be ignorant still. The adulterer, let them be adulterous still. The liar, let them be a liar still. Harvest is ready when you can't change someone. No matter the amount of words, no matter the amount of signs. When a person convinces or is set in their heart, you can't change me, there's nothing you can do or say that will cause me to be different. There's mosquitoes around. So let the brute be brute still. Let the unlearned be unlearned still. It's harvest time. And it's hard to change people these days because it's harvest time. Y'all don't realize that's what harvest time means. All these people that don't want to listen, that don't want change, that don't want get right. That is what makes harvest time a sure thing. Is the fact that you don't want to listen to righteousness. So here's what I encourage. I encourage you to use, these are the last times. We're running out of time. So use whatever approach you can that will cause a change in you. What do I mean by that? I'm going to list some approaches. Some people are, the fire is lit in some people to change and do right when a child is doing better than they have, or when someone young is doing better in the scriptures, in the word of God, than they are doing in the word of God when they've been in the scriptures for years and years and years. So they say, man, this young person doing better than me. I gotta get my act together. If you need to use that to change, use it. Some of us change when Gentiles of another nation admit that we are the people of God. They get sparked, and papers fell. They get sparked into changing and doing right. If that's what causes you to change and get right, use that. Some are gathered with of maybe one or two who also keep the scriptures, and because they are of a company of righteous people, they keep the scriptures perfectly as well. If you need to be a part of the company of a few righteous, and there are not many righteous, but if you find the righteous, cleave to them and become a part of their company, for they will cause your spirit to rise. If you need to do that, do it. These are the last times. Whatever approach you need that sparks that fire in you, use it to cause you to change. No matter what that approach is, use it. As long as it's righteous and according to the word of God, use it. Don't be ashamed because you say, oh, I'm too late, or I'm this, I'm that. No, use whatever you can to spark syncrecy, the synchronization of you with the Most High. Whatever you need to do, use it. We are at the cusp of a change of times, and I'm getting ready to show y'all just how close we are to this change of times, and the fact that this is real. See, a lot of y'all, what I'm getting ready to show y'all is something that y'all don't have. I was the one who sat in my house and spent the time answering every single question. And what this is the Enoch calendar according to truth. I had to answer every single question and have every single question answered in order to put together the truest Enoch calendar that I know of, that I could, that was in all truth. Now, how do you do that? How am I able to do that? Every single question I had in my mind with regards to the Enoch calendar, I answered. And in regards to the extra day and why the extra day exists, in regards to when the Enoch calendar starts and finish, in regards to day and night, night and day, which one comes first, all with respect to everything that Enoch spoke, all with respect to what I see with my own eyes when I look out into nature the same way Enoch did. And I was able to muster up the truest Enoch calendar. And from that Enoch calendar, I'm getting ready to show y'all something. I'm gonna do a video, later to show the Enoch calendar, but I'm about to show y'all the evidence of what's going to happen, because a lot of y'all know in the scriptures that something is going down after the Day of Atonement. Okay? And a Day of Atonement is coming. But a lot of y'all know that something is going down, or something is said. I'm not saying that, something's going to go down after the Day of Atonement, you should expect it. No, I'm saying something is, it's written in the Word of God that a prophecy after the Day of Atonement is also expected to happen, which is in a sense, if I'm not mistaken, the liberation. But I'm not putting anything down. I'm just saying that it's just strange how this occurrence is the case with the Enoch calendar that I've put together. From the true observation of the atmosphere. In the Enoch calendar, it's a big old thing. Hold on, let me let this thing pass. It's getting ready to be loud. It's just ACs. That's funny. Alright, so we know that the Enoch calendar says that it begins with the sun rising in the first station, and it rises and sets on a day that's equal, or on a day after the day of equality, the perfect day of light and darkness. That perfect day is a Takofa, or a equinox, is what we call it today. That day is the equinox, where there's equal light and equal darkness. Now, the problem with all y'all and all y'all Enoch calendars that y'all doing, and a reason why y'all can't figure it out, and I'm about to tell you, the reason you can't figure it out is because you're looking at sunrise and sunset. And if you really look at sunrise and sunset, light is already filled up in the sky before the sun rises for 30 minutes, and after the sun set for 30 minutes or so. Light has already filled the atmosphere. Darkness has already overcome the atmosphere. You know, or light is still existing in the atmosphere after sunset. So we all find ourselves on the Sabbath when we're waiting for the Sabbath to begin or end or things like that. When we're waiting on these things to transpire, we're all looking at the sky to see when there's no more light in the sky. That's what we're doing. And in this way, we're becoming our own evidence as to how to define when the days end and begin. And even though the sun has set, we still find ourselves looking at the sky to see when darkness is to overcome the night sky, so that we can say it's fully ended. You know, because even though the sun has set, we don't naturally consider the Sabbath over until the darkness is completely overcome the sky. You know, so this is why when you look at it, when you really try to discover the Enoch calendar, you will find that there's a difference between the times sunset happens and sunrise happens and sunset, the 12 hours, as opposed to dawn and dusk, which is what the scriptures should actually be saying. It should be saying the dawn and the dusk were the next day, or the dusk and the dawn, evening and morning, dusk and dawn were the next day. These should be the edge of the days and night. Dawn and dusk are the edge of day and night, not sunrise and sunset. Sunrise and sunset is defined as the peak of the sun over over the horizon or under the horizon. But we're not looking at the peak of the sun. We're looking at light. Enoch says light is what starts to fill the sky. You know, not the peak of the sun. You know, he described dawn as the beginning of the calendar, and not sunrise as the beginning of the calendar. You know, when he started explaining, this is how he started explaining it. The sun goes forth, you know, and he says that the light has a specific measure on specific days, 8 parts here and 7 parts there, and so on and so forth. You know, a total of 18 parts per day. You know, with the variance between night and day, light and darkness. So to look at the light, we have to go to the very edge of the light. And the very edge of the light is either dawn or dusk. Okay? So here's the thing. With that said, the beginning of an Enoch calendar using dawn and dusk, which is when the sun is 6 degrees below the horizon on either side. Using dawn and dusk, you will get, it's called civil twilight. If all y'all wanna gauge at the Enoch calendar, it's called civil twilight. Using that, you get a different day as to what the Tekofa, or as to what the beginning, the spring equinox is in the beginning of the calendar every year. Okay? And that spring equinox is either going to be the 18th or the 19th of February. Okay? And on the 20th of February, you get day 1 of the Enoch calendar. I'm just giving you a very key thing that you need to look into. It's all on you. If you want to be ignorant, let you be ignorant still. There's no debating about this. I've done my research. You need to do yours and be confirmed on your research. So my Enoch calendar looks like this. Okay? If y'all can see it. Okay, this is my Enoch calendar. Alright? So, that's my Enoch calendar where I've got everything situated. If y'all want me to send it to you, just go ahead and comment it below, and then I'll make a link, to whomever wants it, if they're watching this video or whatever have you, to maybe like a file storage or something like that on my Google Drive or something. Y'all can go ahead on and download it, so y'all can have it. But outside of that, that's the Enoch calendar I spent time creating, because if you go and you will find out that the very closest perfect day transpires when dawn and dusk are 12 hours apart, and that happens on either the 18th or the 19th of February, and it shifts on those days. And because it shifts on those days, on the 18th or the 19th, neither one of those days can be number one, because the Tekofa happens on either one of those days, which it doesn't go on the 20th, or it doesn't go on the 17th of February. It always stays on the 18th or the 19th, which makes the 20th, the February 20th, day one of the Enoch calendar, the truest Enoch calendar. I'm confirmed. So based off of that, I went on ahead and I did the 364 days, and added all of the high holy days, the Sabbaths and stuff like that we're supposed to keep on the calendar, and each and every one of them are as an internal prayer with me. And no more do we need to, to go into. They're all reminders as to, how the times have changed, so, but the Day of Atonement is set to transpire. And this is why this whole talk is significant, is because Tekofa is is when things are set to change. And I just did a video just yesterday letting you know that the 400 years are up, and they're exactly up on August 20th. Okay, that's the day that I'll even post a link on this, that it's recorded in history, is day one where things begin. But there's something significant about August 20th. According to the Enoch calendar, according to the Enoch calendar, based off dawn and dusk, that's very significant. So not only is there a change in times, but August 20th is also a Tekofa. It's also the solstice, or a change of times, a change of seasons. So it's not just the seasons that are going to change, but all of times is signified by this single day that things are changing. I'm going to show you on my Enoch calendar. I made this years ago. You got Maleo right there. On Tuesday, let me make sure I'm doing it right. On Tuesday, August 20th, which is also the communion with grace and peace, with joy and peace. On the 31st, it's the fall and autumn Tekofa. Okay, and these are the prayer times that I keep each and every day. But Maleo, that's the 182 the 82nd day of the year. 182nd day of the year. Now watch this. The very next day is the blowing of the trumpet, which is the first of the month, August 21st. Okay? And then you got the blowing of the trumpet. So right after our liberation, we are meant to blow the trumpet, you guys. We are meant to blow the trumpet on that day. Okay? on the very next day. And if y'all know, y'all need to be blowing y'all trumpets, because you know what a trumpet mean. It's the sound. It's a change of times. It's meant to signify war, the beginning of a war. You know, it's meant to signify that we are ready to surge and be liberated, things like that. So, if you will, go ahead and blow your trumpets on August 21st, which is after the change of times, the change of seasons, the change of ages, okay? Because the age changes on August 20th. And this Tekofa is the greatest evidence that I could. 400 years is up right here, you guys. 400 years is up. Okay? Now, going down even further, the Day of Atonement, beginning at dusk, okay? The Day of Atonement is what is going to happen, okay? And after the Day of Atonement, I got to find that prophecy. I'll post it below. After the Day of Atonement, there are things that are meant to transpire, and I'll do my second video on what's going to happen after the Day of Atonement once I find it again. But I've read so many documents, I gotta remember which one, and if any one of y'all remember which one, which prophecy is supposed to transpire at the end of the Day of Atonement, or after the Day of Atonement, then let me know. But the Day of Atonement is meant to signify atonement, change. So these days are very serious. You got to keep them, you know. So you have the evidence of a change of times right there. August 20th is the evidence. It's a Tekofa. It's a change of times, a change of seasons, a change of ages. Okay? And that's how significant the 400-year prophecy is. It's done. Okay? It's done. We are ready to move on to the next level. So on the 21st, y'all blow y'all trumpets. Okay? And get ready for the Day of Atonement. And then thereafter, expect just liberation, period. Here's you first have to be liberated within, people. You have to be free within. And if you're still sinning, you're not free. You have to be liberated here first. Here first. Before you can be liberated anywhere external. So you got to learn the words of the Most High. You got to learn the commandments of the Most High. I'm talking about the purest commandments. Go to the living word of God, the holiest testimony that the Most High has made. And that was from the very beginning. Go back to the beginning and you will find yourself right back where we started and right at the end. It's a change of times coming, y'all. And the Tekofa can't be any more evidence that the Tekofa on the 400-day marker can't be enough evidence to show you how much a change of times is happening. So use whatever you can. Use whatever you can. I don't care how petty it is. I don't care how grand it is. As long as it's according to the word of God, use whatever approach you can. Say to yourself, oh, this kid can't be older than me, and keeping the scriptures better. If a child is what sparks fire to you, old man, to keep the commandments even more strict, then use that child. Then that child gets a gift and a glory in heaven as to having been the catalyst upon which you changed because of the way that child walked, how holy that child walked, or that younger person walked. according to the word of God than you, and that sparked and caused you to emulate that younger person's walk, you know. Or if an older person, you young man, is full of much more wisdom than you, use that older person to change. We got to start piggybacking upon each other and do the reversed crab effect, you know, a crawfish in a bucket effect. You know, we got to do the reversed crawfish in a bucket effect. You know, instead of pulling each other down, we got to start pulling each other up. You know, reaching down and lifting up each other. You know, and do this reverse crab in the bucket. You know, effect that will cause us to start liberating one against another. He who is ignorant, don't waste your time. It is not time. The reason you can't change somebody is because harvest time. That's what harvest time is. When people cannot change. When people will not take heed to the word of the Most High, and they've been tried over and over again in his word. I'm not changing, then good. Dust your feet off, walk away. Don't waste your breath, don't waste your time, don't waste your energy, your emotion, don't waste nothing on that person. He who is ignorant, let him be ignorant still. You hear me? It's not time to waste your time. It's when someone doesn't listen or doesn't heed a righteous word, like the videos that I'm posting, y'all who do not heed, that's fine. I don't care. My feet have been dusted. The effort has been made to reach out to you for change. If you do not change, let you be ignorant still. Let you be unchanged still. You hear me? It is the end of times. Use whatever method you can. Whatever desperate, because desperate times calls for desperate measures. We are in a desperate age right now where we need to get to it before we won't be able to get to it, before the door is sealed and locked shut. Because there's going to come a time where you're going to plead and you won't be able to get anything, and nothing will be able to transpire because your plea will go on deaf ears. And you don't want that. Right now, you can be heard. Take advantage while you still can. While you still have your being, lift up a voice of praise. Live in truth. Walk according to the way. While you still have your being before it's all over. I mean, if that ain't enough to show you how well a change of times is transpiring, August 20th is the Takofa. August 20th is the Takofa. You know what I mean? And that's the end of the age for the end of the age of us in bondage. That's the end of the age. And now liberation is about to follow. And liberation of the righteous, not the wicked. The liberation of the righteous. The wicked will be purged out. I'm going to tell you like this. Him who is ignorant, if the ignorant decide to come among the righteous, they will easily be identified and purged. Everyone is going to have a clear mark as to whether they're worldly or righteous. Worldly or heavenly. They're going to have a marker, and everyone's going to see it, and they're going to be clearly identifiable and distinguishable between amongst the righteous, and we will all know, and they will be purged and cast out. And a lot of y'all have put yourselves in a place where it's only right that the Most High sends you to the lake of fire. It's only right. You've done so much harm that it's only right that you be, it's justice that you be sent to the lake of fire. And you don't want to be in that place. But I don't know how much revelation I can give y'all. But this is a warning. You've been warned. Shalom.